You probably looked in the mirror one morning, saw a little less spark in your eyes, felt a little more tired in your bones, and said to yourself, well, this must be what getting older feels like. But what if I told you that the way you start your morning, the first thing you put in your mouth after waking up, might be the very reason why your energy, your desire, your drive, your masculinity has been fading? I'm not talking about some rare disease. I'm not talking about something you need a prescription for. I'm talking about a habit, a breakfast habit that you've likely been repeating for years, maybe even decades, and it's not just slowing you down, it's lowering your testosterone, quietly, silently, every day. My name is Dr. Sarah, and for the past 20 years, I've worked with men over the age of 50, men who once felt powerful, connected, confident, and who now find themselves frustrated, tired, confused, and in some cases, ashamed. Ashamed that they don't feel the same desire, ashamed that they avoid intimacy, ashamed that they keep making excuses to their partners, to themselves, for something they can't quite explain. But let me say this clearly right now. You are not broken, you are not lazy, you are not weak, you are not just old, you are hormonally disconnected. And the good news, that can be fixed. It starts with truth. It starts with education. And yes, it starts with what's on your breakfast plate. I remember the moment I realized how dangerous it had become. It was with a patient named Kevin. He was 58, a retired high school teacher, married for 32 years. When he came to my clinic, he didn't talk about erections or libido. He talked about feeling flat. He said, "Doc, I don't feel anything anymore. I don't get angry. I don't get excited. I don't even feel like myself." And I knew instantly his hormones were muted. Not gone, but muffled like a radio playing behind a thick wall. We ran his labs. His testosterone was low, but not dangerously so. But what shocked me wasn't his numbers. It was his breakfast journal dot every morning for the last 12 years. Kevin started his day with a tall glass of orange juice, a big bowl of cornflakes, low-fat milk, a banana, and 2 slices of wheat toast with margarine. Sounds healthy, right? That's what he thought too. But in reality, that breakfast was the perfect storm of what I now call the male hormone suppressor combo. Let me break it down for you. The orange juice, pure sugar, no fiber, spikes insulin. The cornflakes, highly processed carbs, 0 nutrients. The margarine, full of hydrogenated oils that kill testosterone production. The toast, gluten, glyphosate, gut disruptors. The banana, more sugar. The milk, full of a 1-casein, which in many men causes inflammation, mucus production, and testosterone resistance. Kevin was unknowingly starting every single day in hormonal warfare, and so are millions of men across this country. It's not your fault. We were lied to. We were told low-fat was good, that cereal was healthy, that juice was part of a balanced breakfast. But here's the truth. That so-called healthy breakfast is chemically neutering you, and the worst part is, you don't feel it happen, not all at once, but over time, you feel less motivated, you feel more tired, you say no to sex more often, you lose your morning wood, you stop pursuing, you settle until one day, you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the man looking back. And it all started with what you ate, before the sun even hit your face. Let me explain how this works on a biochemical level, simply, clearly, so you can finally take your power back. When you consume a high-carb, low-fat, processed breakfast, your blood sugar spikes fast. That triggers your pancreas to release a big surge of insulin. That insulin rush does more than lower blood sugar. It also lowers free testosterone, the very hormone responsible for your desire, your energy, your erection strength, your drive. At the same time, your cortisol, your stress hormone, spikes in the morning naturally. But when combined with insulin surges from sugar and carbs, it creates a double punch to your endocrine system. That combo signals your body, we're in stress, store fat, conserve energy, shut down reproduction. Yes, you read that right. Your breakfast is telling your body to turn off your manhood, and every day you repeat that message, the signal gets stronger, until your body believes it. We don't need testosterone, we're just trying to survive. Now, let's zoom in. On that margarine, the so-called healthy butter alternative, margarine is full of trans fats. Trans fats do one thing exceptionally well. They destroy Leydig cells, the cells in your testicles that produce testosterone. You don't see it, you don't feel it, but over time those cells stop responding. Your production slows, your energy fades, your mood drops, your libido disappears, and you blame yourself or your partner, or your age. But really, it was your breakfast all along. Now, I know this is heavy. I know it can feel like too much, but stay with me, because this isn't the end. It's the turning point, because once Kevin stopped his old breakfast routine, once he removed the orange juice, the cereal, the toast, the margarine, the milk, and replaced it with a few key foods. Everything started to shift. He wasn't cured overnight. This isn't magic. But within 2 weeks, he had more energy in the morning. Within a month, his mood changed. By month 2, his wife said, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it." And he smiled again. So what did Kevin eat? Instead, I'll tell you in the next chapter. But first, I want you to sit with this truth. Your breakfast isn't just a meal. It's a message to your hormones. It's either telling your body, be strong, be alive, be male, or it's whispering, shut it down. You choose the message, and now that you know, you'll never unknow it. This is the moment where the comeback begins. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you felt alive in the morning? I don't mean just awake. I mean ready, focused, strong. The kind of energy where you look in the mirror and think, there he is. The man who used to chase dreams. The man who couldn't wait to touch his wife. The man who didn't hit snooze 5 times before rolling out of bed feeling older than he is. If it's been a while since you've felt like that, if mornings have become something you endure instead of something you command, then I want to invite you into a new beginning, because what I'm about to show you could be the first step to getting that man back, and it starts, believe it or not, with your fork dot in the last block. I told you about Kevin, how his healthy breakfast was sabotaging his hormones. Now I want to show you what we replaced it with and how you can do the same, because, let me tell you something, most doctors won't. You don't need more pills. You need better fuel. Every morning is a hormonal window. Your testosterone levels are highest early in the day, but they depend on how you support them. So here's the foundation of a masculine breakfast. One that fuels testosterone, sharpens your mind, and reconnects you to your desire. And no, it's not complicated. When Kevin asked me what to eat, I didn't give him a 12-step program. I gave him 3 rules. Protein first, healthy fats, always slow-burning carbs. Only if needed, he started with 3 scrambled eggs, cooked in grass-fed butter. He added half an avocado, a handful of walnuts, a cup of black coffee with cinnamon, and sometimes a side of sautéed spinach or leftover steak from dinner. Simple, masculine, powerful. Why? Because that combination does 3 vital things. Stabilizes blood sugar, no insulin spike. No testosterone crash, feeds your brain and nervous system. Fats and choline. Boost focus and mood signals. Strength to your hormones, protein and fat support. Testosterone synthesis at the cellular level. Just 5 days, Kevin told me. I don't crash mid-morning anymore. I actually feel like doing things. That's the shift we want. Not hype, not stimulation, stability, power, vitality. Now, let me ask you something else. If you've gotten this far, if something about this conversation has touched you, I want to hear from you. Yes, you. Not some anonymous man behind a screen, but the one sitting there right now thinking, she's talking to me. I am. I really am. So here's what I want you to do. Leave a comment right now. Tell me what part of this hit hardest. What are you going to change tomorrow morning? What did no one ever tell you that you're finally hearing now? You're not just helping yourself by speaking, you're helping other men feel less alone. And if you're not ready to speak, that's okay. But at least do this. Subscribe to this channel, not for the algorithm, not to boost a number, but because you deserve consistency. You deserve truth. You deserve to be reminded week after week that you still have fire in you, and I'll be here every week to fan that flame now. Back to the science. Let's talk about what happens in your body when you feed it correctly in the morning. When you eat a breakfast high in protein and fat, your body releases dopamine, the motivation neurotransmitter. That means you start the day feeling alert, capable, confident. Meanwhile, your insulin stays stable. That means your testosterone doesn't crash. It stays available, active, unbound. You're no longer fighting inflammation. You're building dot, and when you add in foods rich in zinc, magnesium, selenium, and saturated fat, you begin giving your body the raw materials to make more testosterone naturally. Let's get specific. Egg yolks are rich in choline. Cholesterol. Yes, that's good. And vitamin D. Avocados provide healthy monounsaturated fats and boron. Brazil. Nuts contain selenium, vital for sperm and testosterone production. Spinach is loaded with magnesium, which boosts free T. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity, preserving testosterone. Bone broth or collagen supports gut health and lowers systemic inflammation. Every single one of these items is a message to your manhood. Wake up. I'm supporting you. Compare that to the old message. Cereal, juice, toast, go back to sleep, store fat, shut down. It's not even a contest. And no, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to become a keto expert or a fitness freak. You just need to stop feeding the enemy and start fueling your comeback. Kevin didn't go on a crazy diet. He just made his mornings sacred. He stopped rushing. He stopped reaching for the easiest thing. He paused. He prepared. He chose, and every day he did, his body said, "Thank you. I remember who I am now. That's what I want for you. Not perfection, not performance, power, and now. I want you to try something starting tomorrow. Lay out your breakfast tonight. Yes, tonight. Place your eggs on the counter. Prep your avocado. Set your pan. Make it easy, because when morning comes and you're still half asleep, you'll either reach for convenience or for the commitment you made to yourself the night before, and the man you want to become. He shows up in those tiny decisions. He doesn't need permission. He doesn't wait for motivation. He chooses. That's where strength begins. Not in the gym, not in bed, but at the table. And you, my friend, have a seat there. So tomorrow morning, what will your body hear? I'm still shutting down, or I'm coming back. So now you've started making the shift. Maybe for the first time in years, you're not skipping breakfast. You're not reaching for that box of cereal, that muffin, or that orange juice you thought was light and healthy. You've chosen to wake up, stand in your kitchen, and say to your body, "I'm with you now." That matters more than you know. Because when you reclaim the first 10 minutes of your day, you're not just changing a habit, you're rebuilding a relationship with yourself. But I need to tell you something else. Something men like you, strong, quiet, loyal men, often miss. Even the right foods aren't enough. If you keep feeding the silent destroyers, I'm talking about the toxins you don't taste, the chemicals hiding in your plastic bottle, the seed oils hiding in your frozen healthy breakfast burrito, the fake sweetener in your coffee packet, the pesticides sprayed on your so-called fresh fruit, the toothpaste you use with fluoride and endocrine disruptors, the mouthwash that kills your oral testosterone-producing bacteria. Yes, even that. You see, the fight for your manhood is not just internal, it's in your environment, your kitchen, your bathroom, even your thoughts. Let me tell you about a man named Peter. Peter was 65, divorced, worked in logistics, and lived alone. He came to me not because of libido loss, but because of fatigue. He'd been to 3 doctors. All said his labs were normal, but I've learned never to trust that word without looking deeper. I asked him to bring me everything he consumed in a typical morning. He brought a grocery bag. Inside, a low-fat yogurt cup, a granola bar, a 0-calorie energy drink, instant, oatmeal packets, and a tube of sugar-free gum at first glance. Not terrible, but when I flipped those labels around, it was chemical warfare. Artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame, shown to decrease testosterone and gut flora. Seed oils like canola and soybean, high in omega-6, known to cause systemic inflammation. Glyphosate traces in oats, a disruptor of the gut testosterone axis, BPA from the yogurt container, a synthetic estrogen mimicker that binds to your testosterone receptors and blocks your body's natural signal. I looked Peter in the eyes and said, "Your body's not lazy, it's under attack." That moment changed him. He thought he was doing everything right, eating less, staying slim, avoiding sugar. But he had no idea he was soaking his morning in chemical castration. And maybe you didn't either, but now you do. Now you know. And knowledge creates choice, and choice builds change. So what did we do with Peter? We stripped the labels, we simplified. We focused on real food. We replaced the 0-calorie drinks with black coffee or green tea. We tossed the gum. We brought back eggs, steak, avocado, mushrooms, olive oil, blueberries. We added a glass water bottle. We switched his toothpaste to fluoride-free and added tongue scraping and deep nasal breathing. Not sexy, not extreme, but powerful. Within 4 weeks, Peter didn't just have more energy. He'd reconnected with his daughter. He felt proud again. He called me and said, "I don't just feel better, I feel like I came back to life." That's what this is about. Not fixing numbers on a chart, but bringing you back. And sometimes, the most healing thing a man can do is not eat more protein or lift more weight, but simply slow down and ask himself, what am I allowing into my life every morning? Your energy, your clarity, your mood, your desire, they're all shaped, not by one big decision, but by 100 small ones you make before 10 a.m. So let me give you a checklist, not of foods, but of messages. Am I feeding my body or punishing it? Am I moving toward clarity or numbness? Am I eating to be small or to be strong? Am I following what works? Or what was marketed to me? Am I preparing my morning like a warrior? Or surviving it like a prisoner? You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to wake up. And if you're here right now, still watching, still listening, I want you to know something most men never hear. I'm proud of you. Yes, Dr. Sarah, a woman, a doctor, a human, I'm proud of the man who doesn't run from this work. Who doesn't numb it with jokes? Who doesn't pretend he's fine? Who's willing to dig through the silence and find himself again? You're doing it even if it's slow. Even if you messed up yesterday, you're doing it today. And that's what counts. Now, let's go further. Do you want to feel your desire return? Do you want to get to the end of the day and still feel connected to your partner, your body, your purpose? Then here's what you do before breakfast tomorrow. Wake before the house, drink a tall glass of filtered water, move your body, walk, stretch, swing your arms, breathe through your nose for 10 full breaths, step into light, natural sun. Or bright lamp if it's dark. Say something to yourself out loud. I am here. I'm building. I'm back. And then eat. Like a man who respects himself. Not like a boy who just grabs whatever's fast. Not like a victim of the shelves in the supermarket. But like a king. Simple, strong, purposeful, because how you begin shapes how you end. Not just your day, but your decade. Now here's my challenge to you. Try this for 7 days. Just 7, and then come back to this video. Leave a comment. Tell us what changed. And more importantly, tell the man who comes here tomorrow looking for hope. I was there too. And this is what happened when I took the first step. We rise together. We come back together. And we rebuild. Not just bodies, but lives. I'll be waiting for you in the next block. Because we're not done. Not even close. Now that your mornings are shifting, now that you've made space to feed your body instead of rushing through autopilot, it's time to talk about something even more powerful than food. Something most men avoid talking about, not because they don't care, but because no one ever showed them how. Intimacy, connection, confidence. No, not just sex. I'm talking about the spark you used to feel when she looked at you, the weight in your chest when you reached to touch her, the silent electric knowing that you were still wanted, still powerful, still male. And I know if you're over 50 and you've been struggling with low energy, low testosterone, low desire, that fire may feel far away. But what if I told you that fire isn't gone? It's just been buried beneath stress habits, shame, and silence. And every bite of real food you take in the morning, every time you say no to sugar and yes to sunlight, every time you choose stillness over stimulation, you are digging that fire back out. But it doesn't stop with the body. You need to bring your heart back online too. Let me tell you about a man named Luis. Luis was 61, retired mechanic, married 37 years. He came to me with one line. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. He told me he hadn't initiated intimacy with his wife in over a year, not because he didn't love her, not because he didn't find her beautiful, but because he was scared. Scared to fail. Scared to not respond. Scared she'd notice his hesitation, his shame. He started making excuses. Long day, maybe tomorrow, just tired. And she stopped trying. That silence grew between them like a fog, thick, cold, and familiar. Luis wasn't broken. He was disconnected from his body, from his breath, from his confidence. So we didn't start with pills. We started with ritual. I gave him 3 daily practices. They weren't physical. They were emotional nutrition. Touch yourself with intention. Not sexually, but respectfully. Each morning, hands on heart, belly, thighs, noticing, breathing, saying this is mine, this is me. Eye contact. Practice. Spend 1 minute per day looking into your wife's eyes. No talking, just breathing. Let discomfort pass. Let presence build. The honesty journal. Write 1 fear per day. 1 truth, 1 gratitude. Name what you avoid. Name what you want. Own your voice. Within 10 days, he told me, we held hands again for real. Like back in the beginning. That's what I want for you, because testosterone is not just a number. It's a signal. When your testosterone rises, your courage returns. When your courage returns, your heart softens. When your heart softens, your touch becomes sacred again. This is not about performing. This is about being. And no, it's not too late. You didn't miss your chance. You didn't lose your worth. You didn't waste too much time. You're here now, and that's where everything begins. I want you to pause right now. Close your eyes, feel your breath, and ask yourself, when did I last feel proud of my body? When did I last look in the mirror and feel like a man? When did I last speak without apologizing for existing? When did I last touch with confidence, not fear? If those memories feel distant, don't panic, don't retreat. Lean in, because just like Luis, you can come back. But you have to show up. Not for me, not for her, not for your doctor. For you. And that begins by doing what other men won't. Facing the quiet, facing the fear, facing the truth that you still want more depth, more connection, more life. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Before bed, no screens. Distractions. Just this. Stand in front of a mirror. Shirtless. Look at yourself. Don't look away. Place your hand over your chest. Say out loud, I'm still here. then breathe. Say it again. I'm still here. And let your body believe it, because when your body hears those words from you, it starts to wake up. And when it wakes up, your hormones follow. And when your hormones rise, so does your voice, your presence, your power. You've been told for decades to suppress. Be quiet. Be strong. Push through. But I'm telling you, you rise by reconnecting. Not just to food, not just to habits, but to yourself now. If you've made it this far, if you're still here with me, that tells me one thing. You're no longer asleep. You're awake and hungry for more. So I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What hit you hardest in this video? What practice are you going to start today? And if you felt the fog lifting even just a little, tell another. Man, what's waiting on the other side? Because this isn't just about breakfast. This is about rebuilding your identity. And it begins again every morning tomorrow when you wake up. Remember what we said. You are not broken. You are not alone, and you are still powerful. Don't let silence steal your fire. Don't let shame steal your voice. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be strong. You deserve to feel fully alive again. And in the next chapter, I'll show you how to lock in everything we've started, to anchor your transformation, to make your morning power last all day and beyond. We're almost there, and I'll be right here walking with you until the end. You've come a long way, and if no one has told you that lately, let me be the first. You've shown up for yourself. You've stayed in this conversation. You've faced hard truths that most men never dare to face. And you've done it not because someone forced you, but because you know something needs to change. And maybe for the first time in years, you believe that it actually can. That's what this was always about. Not just breakfast, not just hormones, not just fixing a symptom. This was about remembering who you are, because you were never weak. You were never lazy. You were never too far gone. You were underfed, overloaded, and disconnected from your body, from your breath, from your inner truth. But now you know. You know that what you eat each morning isn't just fuel, it's a message. That your fork can either silence your desire or awaken it. That your habits can either rob you of strength or restore it. You've seen the science. You've heard the stories. You've walked alongside men who once felt lost, and now feel alive again. And now, it's your turn. Let's talk about what happens next, because knowledge without practice is just noise, and you weren't made for noise. You were made for presence. So here's how you lock this in. Here's how you make this more than just a good idea. You make it your new normal. Own your mornings. No more rushing. No more grabbing random food while half asleep. Wake with purpose. Hydrate, breathe, move, and eat with intention. Eggs, avocado, grass-fed meats, nuts, bitter greens, real food, real fire. Protect your hormones. Ditch the plastics. Ditch the seed oils. Ditch the fake sweeteners and chemical-loaded convenience. Replace with glass, with olive oil, with whole food. With care, speak truth to your body every day. Speak life into yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I respect you, I support you. I'm not giving up on you, and mean it. Reconnect to intimacy, not just sexual, but emotional, spiritual, relational. Hold her hand. Speak from your chest. Ask for what you want. Say what you feel. Touch her with your eyes open, and most importantly, touch yourself with kindness, not with shame, not with rush, but with reverence, because your body isn't your enemy, it's your oldest ally. It's been waiting for you to come home. Be consistent, not perfect. You will mess up, you will forget. You will grab the toast one morning. That doesn't erase your progress, it proves you're human. Just come back. Again and again and again, because real masculinity isn't about never falling, it's about rising every time you do now. Take a breath. Let it out slow. Feel your chest. Feel your power. That's yours. That's always been yours. And no breakfast, no chemical, no diagnosis can take it from you. But you have to protect it every morning, every moment, with every choice. And if this journey has spoken to you, if something in this story woke something up in your chest, then don't let it fade. Drop a comment. Tell us what you're reclaiming, what you're changing, what you finally see clearly. Your voice will echo further than you think. Another man is reading, quietly in silence, looking for a sign. Maybe you'll be the one to give it. Subscribe to the channel. Not because I need it, because you need support. You need consistency. You need reminders that you are not alone in this. Share this video with your brother, your father, your friend who's been slipping into silence, because no one should have to go through this part of life blind and ashamed. And if there's something you want me to talk about next, another question, another hormone, another habit, tell me. The space is yours. And I'll keep showing up for you, because I believe in the man you're becoming. Let's make this promise together. No more feeding the problem. No more pretending we're fine. No more letting culture silence our biology. From this day forward, we rise, we rebuild, we reignite, and it starts every day with what you say to yourself and what you place on your plate. You're not going back to sleep. You're back. You're strong. And you are still very much a man. This is Dr. Sarah, and I'll be right here next time you wake up, ready to walk with you into the life that's been waiting for you all along.